What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about Aerith's Anniversary Limit Break banner. So this banner has one costume and one weapon, just like the previous two Limit Break Anniversary banners. Let's take a look at Aerith's costume first, Bahamut Robe. This has the same R ability as Cloud and Yuffie's Bahamut costumes. This gives Aerith, or it gives her team, plus 5% magic and physical attack. So I mean, this is always a good R ability. It's not going to help Aerith if she's healing, but it'll always help her DPS do more damage. But this R ability can be good because Aerith can do damage. Like, she does have some pretty good DPS builds, so this R ability will help Aerith be fulfill a DPS role as well. Really good R ability. I mean, it was good on Cloud's costume, it was good on Yuffie's costume, and it's also good on Aerith's costume. Her second R ability, though, is different from Yuffie and Cloud's. Her second R ability is called Bahamut Protection. This gives physical and magic defense plus 20. So this alone is already very, very good. We've seen this only twice in the past. Barrett's Electro Armor has this, and Lucia's, I forgot what her costume is called. Lucia's latest costume also has this R ability. This R ability is, like, I would say one of the best in the game because defense means you take less damage, right? And physical and magic defense. So you're always going to take less damage. And taking less damage means you need to heal less. Taking less damage means your battle score is higher for things like ranked or battle rankings, guild rankings. That does matter. And oh wait, no, actually no, guild rankings, not guild rankings, but battle rankings and dungeon rankings. Taking less damage does matter, so this is very, very good for anyone. But nice to have on a healer, of course, and also nice if you're using Aerith again as DPS, right? Because like I said, with her boost attack to all allies, you could use this costume to have Aerith be in fulfill a DPS role, and the defense is going to help her there too. So basically what I'm saying is this stat, physical and magic defense plus 20, is always going to help Aerith no matter what she's doing. Okay, and then but this R ability doesn't only give defense, it also gives Aerith healing potency plus 10%. And this is huge because this is a separate R ability, so you can cap Aerith's, like, there's a healing R ability. You can cap Aerith's healing R ability, but this will stack on top of that, so that's really good. Right now, it doesn't really matter because actually right now, most of Aerith's weapons have low heal R abilities, so it's very unlikely that you actually max Aerith's heal R ability, but she did get an ultimate weapon that gives her 20 points in healing R abilities, so at least in the future, or for extreme whales, they are maxing heal ability, so this is really nice. So looking at the costume as a whole, I think this is Aerith's best healing costume. It is debatable though, so why is it her best healing costume? Or why do I think it is? Because it gives her plus 10% healing potency, which is basically on par with other healing costumes in most situations. So other healing costumes gives Aerith plus 8 or plus 10 R healing R abilities, and this costume gives her plus 10% just to her stats. I would say they're basically the same. I mean, there are slight differences, but it's basically the same in terms of just healing. So her Bahamut Robe is already is at least equal with other costumes in terms of healing power. But Bahamut Robe is better than her other healing costumes, again, in my opinion, because of boost attack to all allies. So this doesn't help Aerith heal, but it helps her DPS do more damage. And usually your healer is like the least important. How do I say it? Your healer is very important, but for stats, you really want to stack your stats onto your DPS. So you really want your DPS to do damage. So having boost attack to all allies does that perfectly. It helps your DPS, reach higher potential. And then going back to like what I said, giving Aerith defense is just always good. Like there's never a situation where you don't care about defense. Or no, that's not true. But you almost always do care about defense. So, yeah, really good costume. This costume, if we want to I have a few of Aerith's healing costumes. We can compare and look at some of them. Well, okay, it is going to compete. This was Aerith's best healing costume, the Kimura dress, and you could still say it is her best. It is still a contender for Aerith's best healing costume. It gives boost heal plus 10, like I said. You know, plus 10 points gives, if you have no levels in it, it does give more healing, right? Here it gives her 15%, but, you know, as you get more healing power, realistically, it will only give her about 10%, or, you know, if you're a whale, 10 points will only give you not even 5%. You know, from level 9 to level 10, you need 20 points, and it only increases your heal potency by 5%. So this boost heal is actually, like, I think is worse than the Bahamut's plus 10% heal. What makes Kimura Dress really good though, and really unique, is Kimura Dress gives buff, debuff, extension plus. That means Aerith's buffs and debuffs last 60% longer. And that can matter because healers often buff and debuff, and if they don't need, with buff, debuff, extension, they don't need to heal as often, which means they'll have more ATB, they don't need to buff or debuff that often, so they will have more ATB to, you know, maybe heal. But I still prefer, if I had to choose, I would still prefer Aerith's new Bahamut outfit, just because it's more offensive, and defensive, actually, right? It gives Aerith defense stats. You look at her Kimura dress, it does not give her any defense, it does not give her any offense, right? It's pure utility. It's giving her healing, and more time on buffs and debuffs. So they are different costumes, but overall, I do prefer the Bahamut outfit now. Other costumes, actually, honestly, there are no other costumes that it competes with. So Kimura Dress is really the only costume that comes close to competing with Aerith's new Bahamut costume. And, you know, like I already said, I think Bahamut still beats it, but, you know, Kimura does have her place. So going back to the Bahamut costume, I can't say anything bad about it, right? It's the best healing costume. It's a good DPS costume. It's not the best, right? Aerith has several, like, Arcanum and Mastery costumes. Those will be better, but if you don't have those, you know, like me, for example, if you're like me, I'll show you, go back one more time. If you are, actually, I do have one of Aerith's damage costumes. If you are like me, you know, I only have Aerith's ice costume, and other than that, I don't have any Arcanums for Aerith. So if you're like me and you don't have any of Aerith's offensive costumes, then her Bahamut costume will serve you well. Like, it's good. I mean, it's not amazing for her DPS, but it's good. So you can't go wrong with this. It's the best healing one. It's an okay DPS one. Yeah, I really like it. I think it's not a must pull if you just want. Yeah, if you have the Kimura costume, I don't think you need this costume, but this will be an upgrade to the Kimura costume. Okay, moving on to her weapon, which I think is actually the more interesting part of this banner. Her weapon, Bahamut Rod. This is a healing support weapon. Let's look at OP10. Most of you will have it at OP6, actually, so let's look at OP6. So this rod is an AoE healing weapon, so, you know, that's good. Healers, what defines healers is you want AoE healing, so you know, this fulfills that role. That's good. It also gives physical defense up, mid potency, and it maxes out at mid. Even at OB10, it only maxes out at mid. So this is kind of like Matt's Centipede, but it is worse than Matt's Centipede, because Matt's Centipede can go from mid to high potency physical defense, whereas Bahamut's Rod can only go to mid. So this is not truly replacing Matt's Centipede, but it can, depending on the fight. Depending on how much physical defense you need, this weapon can replace Matt's Centipede. Okay, which is good all in itself, because Aerith was lacking a good physical defense option, and Bahamut's Rod does give her that. So that's really good. If you like playing Aerith, then this weapon is amazing for her, just for that reason alone. But not only that, we can look at when Aerith is 90 HP or less, 90%. When Aerith has 90% or less HP, casting Bahamut's Rod will give her allies 1 ATB. So I mean, that's pretty good, right? Because when Aerith is less than 90% HP, which is going to be most of the time, right? Or at least most of the time when you're going to cast this. You're going to cast Bahamut's Rod if you want to heal your party, right? Because it doesn't AoE heal. So if you want to heal your party, Aerith is probably under 90% HP. Or you might cast it if you just want to increase your party's physical defense. Then maybe you might be full HP in that case. So this is not always going to work, but when it does work, it is nice. You know, this is a nice. I don't think this is a huge thing, but it is a nice little buff to have. So it's nice. So looking at Aerith's, the Bahamut's Rod, the C ability, I don't think it's really good. I think it's just nice. It's good and nice, right? It's nice because it gives Aerith physical defense. You know, it does a lot of small nice things, but it doesn't do anything game breaking. And also one thing to note is this 90% is only because of Bahamut Rod is OB10. So if Bahamut Rod is OB6, then it becomes 70%. So then it's less likely to proc, right? It's only if Aerith is 70% HP or lower. And then if you go to OB0, it's only 40%. So you really do want to get this to OB, I would say at least 6. But 10 this is one of the few support weapons where actually OB10 does give a lot of value, because 90% means you'll in most cases you will give your team 1 ATB. 70% you know is pretty good, but you know, I would say 90% is great. Okay, and then looking at the R abilities, so you know, so far I think this weapon is just good, but overall I actually think it's amazing. So it's gonna be amazing not because of the C ability, but actually because of R ability. Let's look at the R ability. It does give boost magic attack to all allies and boost heal. This is the first weapon of its kind that has these 2 R abilities on one weapon. What this means is you can main hand this, right? If you put this in the main hand, Aerith will, you know, boost her magic attack to all allies. At OB10, this is going to give 46 points, which is going to give her level 6, which is going to give her allies plus 25% magic attack. And that's basically like using magic attack up on your allies for free. Like you don't even need to use ATB to boost your allies' magic attack. This is just an R ability. So Aerith just holding this weapon is already going to increase your magic team's DPS by 25%. That's pretty huge. And this will, it doesn't really matter, but this will also increase Aerith's auto attack damage. So you know, even as a healer, Aerith will do, you know, slightly more damage, which doesn't really matter, but it's cool. Other than that, right? It does give heal, not a lot of heal points, but it gives some, you know, which is good, because we are most likely using this weapon on a healer, right? On Aerith, or even if you don't use Aerith, let's say you want to use Matt, you can give Matt this Bahamut's Rod as a sub-weapon. As a sub-weapon, this Matt will still get these R abilities, right? So Matt will still boost his team's magic attack, and then he will still gain some heal points. So this weapon, the R abilities are really good for magic teams. If you're not using a magic DPS, then you know, then this weapon is not that good, but you know, still good, because you still can use it to increase physical defense and increase your team's ATB. Why I really think this weapon is good is because of the materia slots. So it has perfect materia slots, really. Well, not perfect, almost perfect. I think if this was a buff debuff, if this was like the buff debuff materia slot, that would be perfect, I think. But you know, magic attack boost slot is good because this is a magic attack based weapon, so you know that's nice. It has a heal boost slot, which is nice. So you can put a Cura here, and you can have a single target Cura that heals a lot. Because this weapon is doing AoE heal, so some fights you need both AoE and single target heals. So this is nice. What really makes this weapon amazing is this third slot. The third slot is all Asuna, so that means your Asuna spells target your entire team. You know, at a reduced amount, but you don't really care how much Asuna. You most of the time you're not using Asuna to heal your team. You're using Asuna to get rid of the debuffs on your team. So this is the first of its kind in the game. There's no all Asuna slot in the game other than Bahamut Rod. So this alone makes this weapon just godly. Like if it wasn't good enough already, it was already good, right? As you can see, it does so many things on its own. It's helping you increase your physical defense. It's giving your teammates more ATB. It's giving your teammates more magic attack. It's healing your entire team. It has a slot to heal a single member. But finally, this just completely sets this as an S tier weapon. Asuna all, you can, you know, for example, there's some fights where the boss might poison your entire team. You only need to use the Asuna poison once in this slot, and you can cure all that poison. Or you know, like we just had a battle ranking with Genova, and Genova used fatigue on our entire team. You just put a fatigue in this slot. You use Asuna fatigue. It only costs 3 ATB, and you'll clear fatigue off your entire team. This is huge. This is huge for Aerith, and this is the main reason why I like this weapon. Yeah. So great weapon, right? It's doing so many things for Aerith. I think if it didn't have this Asuna slot, then it would still be a good weapon, but you don't really need it. But just because of this all Asuna slot, I think most people, you really want, you know, you only need one copy actually. You only need OB5 to get this Asuna slot, and you know, at OB5 you'll still get a decent healing weapon, and it will increase your physical defense up to mid after 2 casts, which is okay, you know. So, and you'll still get boost magic attack to all allies. You'll get a lower points. You won't get it at level 6, but you'll still get it at level 4. Actually, you'll get it at level 4. So, yeah, I think my summary for this weapon or this banner is I think everyone should pull on this banner. How much you pull depends on how much you like Aerith or the weapon, but everyone should at least pull, in my opinion, to the costume. Well, okay, there's different strategies. Okay, so it depends how much crystals you have, obviously. If you're very, very poor, then okay, you at least want this weapon. It's that good. This weapon is that good, even at OB0. If you can afford it, the costume is good too. I mean, obviously, I told you this is Aerith's best healing costume, so go for the costume. And if you were unlucky, let's say you pulled one page, and you still only have one copy. You only have the guaranteed copy of Bahamut Rod, then you might want to go for at least stamp 4, page 2, stamp 4 to get it to OB2. I mean, sorry, OB1, because OB1 will increase the minimum HP she needs. You know, at OB0 it's 40, at OB6 it's 70. I don't know what it is at OB1, but I assume it's somewhere in the middle, maybe 50 or 60%, I would guess. So yeah, I do recommend that. And then for me, I'm definitely pulling 2 pages here. So 2 pages will get, you are guaranteed to have it at OB3 after 2 pages. But that's only if you don't pull any extra copies. So on average, you should be able to pull at least 2 extra copies. So on average, if you pull 2 pages, you should have at least an OB5 Bahamut Rod, and then maybe you can use parts to get it to OB6, or maybe you got lucky and then you can get to OB6. Or you can even just wait until you get parts, or wait until this banner reruns and then get it to OB6. Oh, sorry, and I forgot the last option. If you have a lot of crystals, you can pull extra pages, because I think this weapon is going to be really good at OB10. I think this is a weapon that really shines at OB10, so it might actually be worth it depending on your crystals or your wallet, how much you want to pull. But yeah, okay, so that's my review of the Aerith banner. I'm not pulling now because I want to set up my wish list. So the main reason I'm not playing now is I really want to put Shell Knuckles on my wish list for Tifa, but I don't have her Fire Arcanum, so I only want to wishlist Shell Knuckles if Tifa's anniversary costume boosts magic attack, which I think it will, but I don't know. So since I don't know, I don't want to wishlist it right now. So since I can't wishlist it right now, I'm going to wait until I pull on Aerith's banner. But once Tifa's banner comes out, I will definitely pull 2 pages of Aerith. I might even go further depending how close I am to OB6, OB10, but definitely 2 pages. Yeah, so that's my plan for the Aerith banner, and those are my thoughts, and that is my review. Do let me know what you think and what you're planning to do. Are you going to pull for Aerith? And if you are, how deep are you going to pull? Are you going to pull 1 page, 2 page, 3 pages? Or if you already pulled, then please let me know how it went. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.